So, today I'm painting my heart away. And I have to say, for the last year and a half-ish, this is the best paint I've done. And I'm so happy. It took me tons of time. Like, really much time. I thought this video would be like more than a half hour. But with some tricks, I could reduce it to 17 minutes. But now that it's done, I can't wait to do it all over again with a new painting. I'm so satisfied with it that in this video, you are not going to be hearing me saying what I did wrong. Well, there were some little things that wasn't 100% or the way I would do if I had a chance to redo this painting. But overall, I'm so happy how it turned out that I'll be talking more about the good things that I did more than the bad things. Let's start talking about this weird name and what it means. Probably half of you cannot read it. It's pronounced Gûyrá'e, or at least I think it is. I took it from a Tupi-Guarani dictionary on the internet. Tupi-Guarani is the majority of the native Indian from Brazil, or the more known of. And the Tupi-Guarani is their language, and it means bird and people. And together, I formed the word Gûyrá'e. You guys can notice that I always like to put something of the culture of my country in most of the paintings I do. It is something from Brazil or it's something from China. I really like doing Chinese-inspired fantasy painting too. My next painting probably is going to be something Chinese. I have some plans. But in this one, and from the first time I first drew these bird people, I thought of giving it a native Indian-inspired name. So Gûyrá'e it is. It was actually the first time I ever painted a full male body. Can you believe it? To be true, I'm a lot more comfortable painting women. To say, I like doing pretty dresses. So this one was a challenge. Even drawing male bodies, I would normally do it really weird. It would not look right. The proportion itself always looked off. So when I decided to do a male Gûyrá'e, I was a little bit not sure how it would turn out. But I liked the way the drawing ended up like. It looked a little bit stiff, but I can use an excuse that he's just jumping to the air, and normally when we jump, we are a little bit stiff. So that's the excuse I'm using. Other from it, what I didn't much like about the overall painting was that it's just too pale. I was going for a more darker color. I wanted it to look more native Indian, like the name. But when the paint dried, it was too pale for my taste. But I didn't want to change it because I was afraid to mess up. I have not much experience in painting skin, so I was afraid that if I would try to darken it, I would end up messing it up. So I let it stay the way it was. I'm very proud of the way the paint turned out. I've done this painting people so few times and I'm not confident in it. So it turning out the way it did, I'm happy the way it is. And by the way, I choose to paint the Gûyrá'e first, at least the color scheme, because how I'm not very confident of doing it, I prefer to do it with a fresh mind before I start to think about any other aspect of the painting. So the results when I do it is a lot better than to let it for the final or for when all the surrounding are already done. And it was a good decision because I don't think I would make a very good paint job if I've done that after. The background, I wanted to do it with a lot of tones of greens to get out a little bit of doing blue skies and blue backgrounds. Something that I really struggle when painting fantasy is that I tend to put a traditional color where the color is. One thing that I always think in fantasy is that you have to forget what the actual local color of the thing you're painting are. Like a tree trunk is brown, foliage is green, the sky is blue. To make a painting look more fantasy-like, more magical, it would be a good idea to change these colors. And for me to do that, it's actually really hard, which is weird, right? Why we cannot just change the color or something? But always when I'm painting, I see myself using normal local colors in the things, and just after I've done and look at it, I say to myself, I could have changed in it to make it a little bit different. So here I did a conscious choice of doing different from the beginning, of doing the surrounding, the background in tones of green and not use the normal blue sky color. Now for the main part of this painting, the thing I'm the most excited about, the foliage, or better, background of the foliage. That was the best happy accident that I ever done, and thank God I have it recorded, so I will not forget how to do it again. It was totally surprising because I was going to do, that was the plan, negative painting in layers, doing what is going to be in the back, how I did the foreground with the branches. But when I was doing this background first layer, I accidentally did the strokes with the brush, and it looked so awesome that it just gave me a ta! I'm going to do it in all the background and see how it looks. And I cannot say how happy I am for making this decision, because it looks so freaking awesome. And I can say, yeah, it looks dreamy and it looks wild, it looks just like I wanted it to. So I'm so happy the way it turned out, so happy, you guys have no idea. I'm for sure going to do it in a lot of paintings in the future, and I probably make it into a trademark of mine, I don't know, because I just want to redo it every time I paint now, because it looks so cool. It was something that I done right, and I'm so happy. And the branches as well, it turned out okay, but if I could redo it, I would do the base color. I did it in a light green. I would have done it in white. I would go on it with white paint and doing the details over it in green. And I think it would have more of a contrast with the background. And another decision that I make, like in the rush hour, that I like a lot, was changing the colors of the flowers. I was going for a head color flower. And after I've done the background and the branches and I start to look at the flowers, I thought that if it was yellow, orangey, would go better with the painting than it would red. So on the time I changed it, and I really liked the decision. The way the colors of the flowers end up, like, it goes well with the painting and it does not fight. I think the red would fight with everybody, and the yellowish orange flowers turn up just what the painting needed to have a little bit of pop. The bird silhouettes, they are from Arara. You call it Macau. Really weird name. It's Arara. It's a very common and still very special Brazilian bird that we have in green and blue and red color, and I think there is yellow too, I don't know, and I wanted to insert in my painting. The first thought, the thought of really painting the birds, but I end up deciding to just do the silhouette because I think it would be too much information and the painting would start to look really messy if there was a lot of colorful birds in it. And I was already thinking of making the Gûyrá'e wings inspired in the colors of the arara, of the blue macaw. Really weird name. So if I did a lot of birds together in the same painting, I think it would take out the attention from the main guy in this painting. And talking about the wings, if I have to say that any part of this painting gave me a little bit of a headache and was a challenge, I have to say it was painting the wings. Like, I have painted wings before, even in a Gûyrá'e painting I did in the past, but they did not turn out looking the way I wanted. So when I was painting it, I was trying to be the most careful I could. And it is still not perfect, to say the truth. If I could change and reduce something, just one thing in this painting would be the wings. I would do it again, because after I've done with it, I could see what I should have done different to look more the way I wanted. It does not look bad. It looks really pretty actually, but I wanted more of a contrast in shadow and light to be shown in these wings. I wanted that the really light perspective in this painting would come from the wings, and I could not achieve it 100% the way I wanted. And when I tried, even after doing highlights with white ink, it did not show over the yellow and the light blue, so I let it go. I even edited out it in the part where I was trying to paint these highlights. And I think I would also pay more attention in individual features if I would paint it again. In the end, I like it a lot the way it turned out. It's super texturized, and I really like the look and the vibe it has. It looks really, really pretty. But for future paintings of me doing features, I'm going to do a different approach and a more thought of approach. Maybe it is one of those things like skin that I should have done before anything else, so my head is not filled with everything about this painting and I just can focus and think just about the features and the wing itself to make it look more the way I want it. So next time when I'm doing it again, I'm going to stop and think and do it with a lot of patience. It looks fine, it looks good. I'm very, very happy about this wing too. From the other aspects of the Gûyrá'e and the skirt, I already knew from the beginning that I would make it violet. I think it was contrasty enough, and painting clothes is something that I have to further study more about, because it ends up looking good, it's pretty, but not the way I want it. I want the clothes I do look like, but it's good, it's satisfying. In the past, I did a very fantastic happy accident in a painting overall, I didn't even like that painting. But the dress in the girl I did there looked so amazing, and I never after that could redo that. One day I'm going to show this painting to you guys and explain how pretty it is. I cannot remake the same feeling in the same way I did the dress, and it bugged me so much because it was so perfect. I want to paint the dress that way. But anyway, And the detail on the body of the Gûyrá'e and the helmet, I wanted to make it silver actually, but my silver pen decided to broke basically before, not broke, but the load in it went up and I cannot use it anymore. So I went with the gold because my gold pen is looking fine. It looks good. I like it the way it turned out. And for the last, the feathers in the helmet, I took inspiration. I wanted it to be in different colors. I wanted it to be more neutral. And to say the truth, I got inspiration from it from Galinha d'Angola. I have no idea how you say it in English, but it's a kind of chicken, an exotic type of chicken that when I was a child I saw a lot in farm of friends of the family that I would go on vacation, and I remember that I really like it, and they really look really pretty and funny. And when I was thinking about which feathers I would put in this Gûyrá'e, the first thing that went to my head was I would make it looking like a Galinha d'Angola. So that is it, you guys. I hope that you also liked this painting as much as I did and liked the video too. So leave it a like and subscribe and press the bell button and tell me your opinion about this painting on the comments below. And I will see you next time for more of color scheme videos.